Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we have an updated tier list for the Digimon EX4 meta, which is just a week away here in North America, and I'm really excited to see some of these cards and archetypes and boosts that we get from the set, and I want to do a tier list to kind of go over it, as well as kind of show what we're looking at, kind of like the end of the BT12 meta, since we did go through some changes. We had like Ultimate Cup this month, and just kind of everything else, and as well as we did get like a different format than Japan at this time with the restriction list we got, just a bunch of things. So we do have that. And real quick before we get started, first, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. I've been working really hard on covering a lot of Digimon content lately, and will definitely continue on the EX4 meta. And again, I am on the road still, so apologies for any downgrades on quality of video and audio. I promise I'll be home soon and get a little bit of that bump right back there. So anyways, we're going to go into it. We do have all of these kind of newer archetypes, or at least archetypes that got some support. So that's kind of on that what we're going to go over first. And our tiers for this one, highly competitive, which I'd expect it to win an event in this format. Competitive is I would expect it to top an event in this format. It could win the entire thing, but I think more of just kind of getting a top six, like an X1, X2, kind of where it's fitting. Playable, where it could top, but I would not expect it to top every event, and maybe it could win, but I'd be very kind of surprised for that. And two more kind of newer ones too is will be better, which means I kind of know that it's going to get a little bit better in or BT13, since these expansion sets are just plopped in the middle between two baseline sets. It's kind of hard to not peer ahead a little bit as well. And then will be better with a question mark of maybe it will be better if some new support happens, but in the near future, I don't expect that to happen either. So we do have all the new archetypes from EX4, and we're going to go over archetypes that are also boosted as well. And then we have just archetypes that have been topping in BT12 here in North America. So if any of these archetypes you don't see as it is, it's either has not topped in BT12, so I don't want to talk about it, or I just don't have hopes for it in there. There's a couple deck list or archetypes I'm bringing in just because I think it could be a little bit boosted from this, but kind of unsure at this point. So anyways, we're going to jump into it finally with our first one. So we have the Gallantmon archetype, which we're going to have with this guy. I'm going to put it in kind of competitive. There's like two new lines for it now, which is kind of interesting, and it also kind of ramps more into the chaos side as well. So we have been seeing Gallantmon, I think, get a little bit better, at least in like the Ultimate Cup format too, in the fact that you're able to have like two different tamers now that was kind of like the short gap for the deck as well. Like you weren't able to find the tamers that you needed for it, which is kind of rough, and I think that's going to be helpful for the deck in general. So that's my idea for this one. And then Blue Flare, which I think is actually going to be right here in highly competitive. I think it's one of the bigger winners for this deck list, or this tier list, in the fact that we did get a good amount of support. It's obviously kind of with the Dark Knightmon stuff, which I'm going to put it right here too, like Dark Knightmon, and there's obviously like the Dark Graysmon, or the Grays Knightmon as well, which is kind of in the between the two of them, which I think maybe could be competitive. I think playable. I think the pure Blue Flare is probably just better in a lot of ways. I'm a big fan of the Dark Knightmon, but I don't think it's going to help you as much as you want, and it's kind of a shame there. So I'm still going to be playing, I'm still going to be testing it, but I think Blue Flare is in a really good spot with its new chain link and stuff. So and then we have the Galgamon. I think it's probably playable. I might put it like will be better is maybe there, because you do get like a little bit of support here in BT13 down the way. I think it's just kind of a bit of a different way to play the deck too, and different inheritables, but you have some pretty good inheritables I think you get from this. We'll keep it playable, but I think the deck is good. We've been seeing it do well, kind of like as a pair with All Force, or pair with like a blue hybrid, and I think Mirage Galgamon with some of the new pieces that we see could be good, so I'm going to put it right there. Shine Gray, I'm going to be putting in the will be better. We do know that BT13 is going to have a lot of Shine Gray in it, so expect that. I know it's been lackluster so far, but they've made sure that it's going to be pretty good in BT13. We do have like some new lines with the expansion set, which is why I'm kind of going over it right now, but we're just going to leave it right there. And then we have the Sakuyamon, or the Kazuamon. I the card itself actually is kind of nice, and I know some people tech it into Blue Flare, especially because it works really well with Blazing Memory Boost. But I think the deck itself is still just clunky. If we got another Tamer in the expansion set 4 that helps out Sakuyamon, then I think that's the only thing the deck's really missing right now. But obviously, having a deck that has to juggle between having some plugins and also having to run some Tamers, it's just kind of in a rough spot. So again, if we get another Tamer for the deck, I think that could be the consistency that you're really looking for. But without that right now, it's kind of in a rough spot. I think the top end is really good, but I think it's ambiguous enough. It can be splashed in other archetypes way better. So. And then we also have like the Cherubimon stuff, which I'm gonna just kind of put both of them here. They both are really neat, and I think that like the Terriermon support and Cherubimon support is nice. And I know I'm kind of glossing over them a little bit, but it's just okay. Like because like the Cherubi, I'm putting this as like the green green purple one as well, even though it's not technically like it's really interesting that we have all like this green base that we can kind of go up, and like we have different top ends, and it's kind of configurable from that way. I've been testing it a little bit, but it's just been kind of clunky, unfortunately, not as straightforward as I kind of want for it. So I'm gonna put it there. We'll see if what you guys think about that. I haven't seen these do very well. I haven't been seeing them top well outside of in Asia either. So we have that, and then we have the Guilemon, which I'm going to put into competitive. We also kind of have like War Gray, which it's getting really hard, like really difficult to decide how to decide where these archetypes lay in Greymon land. There's just so many just Greymon blank, right? It's like the top end, like they're splashing every top end a little bit, and it's kind of tricky. But I think the new Gaomon is great. It works with the old Gaomon, and the fact that it just has like the bottom end and just support of the whole War Gray and Greymon package as well. It's just a very good deck inherently, just because it already has so much support. So I'm gonna put it there in competitive. Ravemon we're gonna put into Will Be Better. I know it's getting some more support in BT13. It's a really neat deck, and where it's I don't have much for it for right now, but I think it will be getting better as we go forward. And then our last deck from the EX4, at least the newer, or like new and improved, we do have like the Alter S. I'm maybe putting this a little bit too high, but I think the deck is really neat. Maybe I need to put it back. Maybe we put in playable. We'll put in playable. The deck is neat. The deck is really neat, and I hope it does well. I hope I'm wrong about this one. I hope it's better than just playable. Just the fact like it's an idea that it's an Agumon, like it's an actual Omni list. Like all the other Omni lists usually are just like Greymon list, or it's just a Garurumon list. But just the fact like this is a deck that fits both of them together, and the fact that it's like a black deck that has like the black and blue and black and red it's a really cool designed archetype, and like aesthetically and like quote unquote lore wise, but it can be clunky. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong with this one. That's where I'm there. So those are pretty much all the kind of EX3 archetypes, and let me make sure I'm not really missing anything. That's more or less. It's a little bit tricky for some of these, but those are my thoughts. I think again, Blue Flare is like the winner from EX4. Generally, we only have like one or two sets from archetypes from an EX set be actually good, but and then I think Gallant and Gaomon obviously both have pretty well-defined archetypes as well, so that it's you can kind of slot those in, and then kind of some hopefuls right here. So, and then we'll go into some of the BT12 just general archetypes and things, and see if anything's kind of moved around, especially since we did have the difference in the restriction list, which kind of impacted a couple things, and I'm just going to go over these real quick. So we have Dorbic, which I think is playable. We have Red Hybrid, which I think is pretty competitive right now. Jesmon, I'm going to put in Will Be Better, maybe. We do get like another line and some support in BT13, so maybe some good stuff there. We're going to leave War Greymon up here as just like the good red stuff. Sheltmon, I'll put in playable. I think the deck is honestly good, and the fact that Beelzy X did get hit by it too, got hit, means that this deck can be a little bit better as an aggressive fast deck. I just don't think people are playing it. I think if people are playing a deck like this, they're playing Hunters, which is still really good. So we're gonna leave that there, but we have All Force right here as well. I'm gonna put that in competitive. I think it's a winner from the fact that I don't know, like Blossom, like Bloomlord's a little bit worse with Blossom. Well, not terribly so, but I think like Beelzy X was just a hard matchup for it. It's still pretty difficult too, but I think it's something that's more winnable now. And since it was so big of the field, you had a hard time with it. So I'm going to leave it here. It is a little bit worse, I'd say, in the regular format compared to Ultimate Cup, where it's been doing well. But I do think All Force is good. Melguru I'm going to put in will be better because I also don't want it to be better. Armor I'm going to put in playable. It will also get better, like some support in BT13. Oh, and I didn't mention this in All Force either. The gold Vidramon is a nice little add for both of these decks, and just the fact of it has armor, the fact that it's like another Vidramon, the fact that it like digivolves for free on, like for cheaper on Vidramon. I think the gold Vidramon is a good card for both these decks. So both the All Force and the armor. So we have that there. Security control, also playable, but we do have like the a newer build with it, like this Raphimon build with it, since we do have like the dark Raphimon. So I think that's good for the deck, but I also don't think the deck is great as it is. There's a lot of decks that do just burn through security right now and don't really care about the protection for it. So I think that's something cool. I might have wanted to put in the EX4, but we left it here and we put it there. Yellow Hybrid, I think is actually competitive. I think Yellow Hybrid is just a solid kind of anti-meta pick right now, and it does very good. Bloom, I'm going to leave it in competitive. Green Hybrid, I think, has a shot right now. I think the Terriermon bottom end stuff is actually really helpful for the deck. So it's something I haven't looked into, but I think there could be something there. We also have the Grandis, which I'm going to put will be better. We have Examon right here. And then, which we do have another Examon coming in BT13, which might help with the deck a little bit. And then the top end, we're just going to put this right up here. Boop, boop, boop. These three, I think that's not too kind of outrageous for these to be really good. Actually, I think Red Hybrid needs to probably be up here too. We're going to smoosh that right back up. And then Mother, we're going to put in playable because it's been kind of, again, topping every once in a while. So if I was to rearrange these at all, we're probably going to do it something like this. That's probably fine. This is probably okay. And this is maybe asking a little bit too much. Maybe this is a hopeful. So if we're being hopeful, let's put this up here too. So we'll finally push that up. So all right, so it's the end of the tier list. You guys are probably just skipping this part anyway, so we're going to do a quick run through. Highly competitive, Beelzy X, Blue Flare, Machine Dramon, Hunters, and Red Hybrid. I don't think anything too outrageous here. I think Blue Flare is going to be played a lot, and the new archetype, just the consistency it adds is really great. Competitive, we have pretty much most of the Greymon stuff. The new Gaiamon stuff is neat. All Force, Yellow Hybrid, Bloomlord, Gallant, and Ultra-S. These are two of my hopefuls. We'll see if either one of these actually becomes moderately good, but I think both of them get some new support, and again, I think the Alter S one's really neat, so I hope this one does well. And playable, and if we're going to leave Dark Nightmon here, I hope I'm wrong about this one. I hope it does better in EX4, especially, or even like Gray's Nightmon, which I didn't put in this one individually, but it's kind of like a combination of both of these. Mirage, which could also get better because it is also getting a line in BT13. Dorbic, Crossheart, and I think Crossheart could just be people not playing it, but if people play this deck again, I think it will do well. Armor, which also got some support with All Force and Gold Vidramon. Security Control, which also got like a new card. Green Hybrid, because we got a bunch of Terrier stuff, and then Mother's just doing good. I think Shine Gray, Rave, Jessamon, and Examon will be getting some new support in BT13, and the rest, I'm just not too impressed with myself, but I could be wrong, and you guys can let me know in the comments where I got these right and I got these wrong. So anyways, that's going to be it for me. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe for more content for Digimon EX4, and that's going to be it for me. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.
Damn it. Damn it.